Hi, I'm Jeff Saltz. Welcome to an introduction to data science. This course is really an applied course. We'll spend a lot of time using R, which is a programming tool that data scientists use a lot. By the end of this course, I really hope that you're familiar with how to use R, how to program in R, and how to be really kind of an active data scientist. Now don't worry if you've never done any programming before, never even heard of what R is. We'll kind of go through each step so that by the end you'll know how to do this, but you won't be expected to know really much about how to do data science when we kind of start. When I think about kind of what I want you to get out of the class, I want you to get a broad understanding of what is data science, how can data science be used, what are the types of data sets where data science techniques can be useful to generate insight from data sets that are available. Maybe before we start actually jumping into the course, it'd be helpful to kind of talk a little bit about myself, my background. So I've spent over 20 years in industry. A lot of that time was in financial services. Almost all that time was doing data science work, although quite honestly, the term data science hasn't really been around for that long. So a lot of the time, it was just kind of, yeah, Jeff's working on large data sets and trying to help us understand what it means. I've been involved in many different programs, many different types of data sets that we were working on. One, for example, that I was working on was I was in charge of credit card authorization. So everybody knows what credit cards are. When you kind of go to a supermarket or a store or online, try to use your card, there's a process that kind of says yes, that merchant should accept the charge, or no, there's an issue. Maybe you're over your credit limit, or maybe you're an imposter and you're kind of somebody has fraud on your card. So I was in charge of that system, and there's lots of data analytics in order to kind of make a prediction of, are you the right person? Is there an issue? Do you have the right credit scenario? So that's kind of just one example of the type of work that I've done that really kind of is focused on understanding data and turning data into insight. In terms of what we're going to cover in the class, a little bit more specifically. Again, we're going to go through all these concepts, so don't worry if you've never heard about any of them. But we'll cover in more depth what is data science, what does it include. We'll do a little bit of statistics, so if you haven't had much statistics background, we'll talk about both descriptive and inferential statistics. We'll talk about, obviously, connecting to different types of data sources. Some web standards, some relational databases, and things like that. Then we'll go over different techniques that one can use to better understand data and draw insight from that data. We'll do a lot on visualization, both using maps and just maybe pure, more information visualization. We'll do some text mining. So we'll do some analysis of unstructured data. And then we'll generate some models like linear modeling, or we'll generate some association rules mining and support vector machines. These last couple of techniques are kind of advanced modeling techniques that help us understand, for example, when we might buy things together in a basket, such as when we are on Amazon and people say, well, people who bought this product typically buy with that product. We'll actually, at the end of this course, understand the algorithms that are used to generate those types of suggestions. Lastly, before we get started, what does the course comprise of, and how are we going to kind of go forward? So we'll have a bunch of lectures where I'll kind of sit down and talk to you about different techniques, give you some of the foundational answers. I'll have some roundtable discussions where we kind of have a discussion about how we kind of apply some of that knowledge and kind of what our thoughts are. There'll be lots of hands-on work, both in labs and homeworks. We'll obviously, in terms of grading, have class participation count. Your synchronous discussions are important. There'll be a quiz, probably not halfway through, probably a little bit later than that. And finally, almost most importantly, there'll be a project. While I kind of use the term final project, it doesn't really start at the end. It's really a semester-long project, a course-long project. Well, you get to apply the techniques as you learn them, and you have a data set where at the end, you'll be able to kind of analyze that data set and communicate the results to people that would be interested in that analysis. So good luck, and hopefully you'll enjoy the class.